my main man, MC Lars. Yeehaw! What's this thing?
It's my Prius, man. Sustainable.
Sustainable.
50 miles per gallon.
It's like renewable energy, but not.
Yeah, it's good. It's a sustainable ride.
How many MPGs you rocking out of this baby?
50.
50.
It's pretty good.
Now, are you taking your foot off the gas a lot so that it regenerates? Isn't that how it does it? Or?
Yeah, when you use the brake, it turns that kinetic energy into electricity.
That's amazing.
It's pretty awesome. And with they say gas is going to keep climbing to like $8, $9 a gallon.
I heard it was going to $1,000 a liter, but we'll talk about that later.
Wow.
So,
that's expensive.
So tell me a little bit about the record you're making right now. You're about to take off, go back up to the Bay Area, I think?
Yeah, it's been a long process. I've been working with a lot of different producers, and I'm going to be doing part of it in the Bay Area with my friends from school, and I'm doing part of it down here, and it's going to hopefully come out at the end of this year. It's called This Gigantic Robot Kills.
Cool.
Yeah.
Do you have any idea when you're thinking about releasing that, or?
I want to drop it in November, but I may need more lead time. I'm going to finish it July, August, and I've been working on it for a while, but it's exciting.
Tell me a little bit about, your thing obviously is that you kind of were anti-music business, not necessarily in your message, but you kind of just said, look, I just want to make music. I don't give a shit about that stuff. I'm going to do it my way.
Yeah.
What was the whole genesis of that? How did you even start doing that stuff?
In high school, I just loved making music like on my own, like in my room, and I played in punk bands, and then I got into MIDI and Cubase and Fruity Loops when I was like 15, 16, and I started putting on shows where I'd like have different visual projections and like costumes and like different techno stuff. And this was way before like MySpace and way before kids were like doing like ironic hip hop on their laptops. Like my first show was, I guess I started in like 97, 98, and so I went to England in college, and I was doing that over there just for fun, and I got picked up by a label called Truck Records. And it just kind of, now it's my full-time thing for now, and it's just kind of, it's evolved, and I tour, and it's part of this thing called nerdcore, which is like this hip-hop subgenre, and we're just hoping to keep it going and like write stuff. Like I love to write songs about stuff I care about, like Shakespeare, you know what I mean, and like technology and just like comic books and relationships.
I noticed that, well, you're an English major, right?
Yeah, yeah.
And so it's interesting that, people wouldn't think, first of all, a white hip-hop guy, that's already its own, that's its own set of issues already. But then to infuse it with, like, you talk about pop culture, you talk about, famous literature. I mean, it's really cool that you're doing something that really no one that I know of has ever really done before.
Thanks, man. It's fun. You just got to be yourself, because, like, as soon as you're not, you're done. As soon as you try to be what you think you should be, then you're not authentic, and you're not an authentic artist.
Hey.
Oh.
Hey. Plug. Tell me a little bit about, are you writing anything else aside from music? Are you writing any poetry or books or anything on tap for that?
Yeah, I do a comic, and I put out a comic book. I did a poetry book.
How's that tree treating you, by the way?
It's friendly.
Yeah, okay. I hope it's not poison something.
It's like LA.
Books.
Yeah,
comic books.
I love drawing comics, man. I love doing that almost as much as music. And I put out a poetry book this year called Bukowski in Love. That's a shout out to Charles Bukowski, one of my favorite writers.
Cool.
And I did I do a comic strip called 27th Street that I'm going to keep doing. And oh yeah, Bobo, don't hit the.
Oh yeah. Hey, this is live action. This is Bob Bradley on the camera.
I don't want you to get hurt.
We can't let Bob get hurt. Everything fails. Okay. Okay, so you've got the comic books, and then do you write poetry or literature?
I do. Yeah, I wrote short stories. I mean, one day I'm going to do a graphic novel that's the history of hip hop as told through my perspective and growing up in the '80s and like my life, and that's like my exciting like big piece that I'm going to do after this record. So I keep it fresh, and like eventually I'm going to get my PhD in literature and hip hop and do a crossover like thing, and I eventually want to just like start a movement and be like a professor in this new postmodern world,
And you're using a lot of the mediums, obviously MySpace and YouTube, that obviously young artists are using as ways to be broken outside of the major label system. I mean, that's something you've done really well in terms of branding yourself.
Yeah, I think my international fans, like, they stay up on the MySpace and they stay up on the YouTube, and I do podcasts so they can put them on their iPhone like every month, and like I'm always, you got to infiltrate every niche and you got to have fun with it, and I think like if you care enough, about your music and your art, and you have something to say, there's nothing stopping you nowadays. Like with your 90-second show, you know, you can just...
A 90-second show, plug right from here, the man, MC Lars. But it's true though, man. It's like, you know, when I was an A&R guy, it seemed like you had to spend $300,000 to make a record. Now, you can make a record on your laptop, you can distribute it pretty much on your laptop, and, you know, obviously the key is, and I think this is where some bands, they don't quite know what to do next, but I think some bands think you can still... You can skip doing the hard work, the touring and all that, and you really can't. Like at some point, I think you have to have the personal connection, right, with your fans. I mean, is that...
For me, I like touring more than I like recording.
Yeah.
Because it's like, it's more fun to like go out there and learn from people and be part of, even like in the punk rock kind of underground scene, to like, to vibe it out, you know what I mean? You gotta do the hard work, you gotta love being on the road, sleeping on floors, and, you know what I mean? And recording is fun, and I like doing the album, but like for me, the passion comes from being on the road. I'm hitting the road. I'm touring with Cartel and Young Jock.
That's great.
In September, and then I'm doing a tour with MC Frontalot, my rapper friend.
How do you get your tours?
That's a college tour, and Concert Ideas is a great booking company that I work with, and so they help book that up. So it's just through meeting people and just being friendly and like staying open and like just, you know, just not letting myself be pigeonholed, you know, because it's laptop hip hop, but it works with anything in any scene, and it just has that appeal, you know. So the trick is just to keep being open. I think that's something about life, you know. As soon as you put yourself in a category, you're defined by that, and I don't ever want to do that.
Well, so far you're doing a very good job of breaking all those molds. So let's go grab a milkshake.
Sounds good. Where's music going, Scott?
You know, I was going to ask you the same question. What are you thinking?
I'm thinking that bands with good melodies and good work ethics and good fan connections will be able to pay the rent doing music.
Do you think that there's... What? Do you think there's an over-reliance on MySpace friends and how many plays someone gets daily? Or do you think that that's all just kind of part of the bigger puzzle? And
I think if you have lots of MySpace friends who asked to be your friend, then it's cool. But if you like had a big major label at it with bots adding all these people, then that's weird. But
how do you get most of your friends? And are you in touch with them regularly on MySpace?
Yeah, I try to keep up on it. It's hard though, but it's like just from touring. I have 50,000 friends. It's pretty good, and it's like all just a lot of them are in England because I tour in England a lot. But I think a band. I mean, that's kind of like if you have a lot of plays and a lot of friends. It makes you look good, but it doesn't mean that you're a good band. It doesn't mean that also if you play a lot of people come see you. It just might mean your dad has a lot of free time and he can add people all day when you're at school. I don't know. What do you think?
I think that there's a fine line there. I think that, you know, obviously I am one of the believers that, you know, that the digital era is where it's at for everything, for creating the music, distributing the music, and promoting the music. I do think, though, that if you don't have that real world work ethic, if you're not really touring and you're not really out there touching your fans, that it's hard, I think, to be more than just a flash in a pan, hey, there's this new thing on MySpace, whatever.
Yeah.
Like, I think there needs to be more than that if you're trying to sustain a career, right? I mean, you've done it, you've been doing it, so you're a poster child and making it work somehow.
You just got to be out on the road, and you got to be constantly putting stuff out. This album's taken me a few years, but like, it's gonna have enough stuff for like another EP or another album to come out like soon after this one. So it's just like being prolific and being on the road. Those are the two things that, and making good music. Those are the three things that let you independently be successful.
What new act out there right now are you excited about? Is there anything buzzing that you're totally digging on?
Yeah,
right now,
I'm friends with that band, the Flowbots.
Yeah,
and my friend manages them, and they're on Jay Leno tonight, but that's
going to be way too late by the time you see this. But since this is on YouTube, you could probably Jay Leno YouTube.
Yeah,
Flowbots. They've got a song blowing up right now.
Yeah, Handlebars.
Yeah,
and I like how they're conscious and political, and like they made the record all on their own, and then Universal signed them, but like they were able to say all this political stuff, and it's a good hip hop record. So they're cool. And my friend MC Frontalot is a rapper. He's doing his new record, and yeah, I'm more into the hip hop stuff. I'm not so impressed by anything else nowadays.
You know, I've got something that'll impress you. It's called a chocolate shake at Jack's Classic Hamburger Stand. So, what do you say? Should we get that thing up or what?
Sounds awesome.
I'm gonna go get you a chocolate shake. This is my friend MC Lars, 90-second music show. Something.